Hello, my Threeple, and welcome back to the Triple A-Pex Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, 3LNEX, and of course, we got our co-host here, the Castle Keeper, but his name right now is On God. I don't exactly know why, but this is episode 4 of the podcast, and we're going to be getting to some interesting stuff that has been going on in terms of Apex news, and try to figure out some other things to talk about, because I don't think we know exactly what we're going to be talking about for this episode. So, do you mind introducing the stuff that's been going on in terms of like the trailers coming out for Apex for season 10?
The gameplay trailer is about to come out tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. And then the launch trailer, um, you can see a little bit of his abilities. He's like a bloodhound, but his
Yeah,
ultimate is
yeah,
very different.
yeah.
He's a
Seer,
tracking legend.
yeah. Seer is going to be a recon legend, confirmed now, and he has a rather interesting kit from what was revealed in EA Play Live, and yeah, and the gameplay trailer will be out tomorrow. Gonna be reacting to it, and we're gonna get to see a better look at Seer's abilities and how exactly they work. So a rundown of his kit. His passive, when you're aiming down the sights, you're able to detect enemy heartbeats. And like I don't know exactly now how that's exactly going to work out, but it should be something like if you like end up hovering over an enemy, probably the heartbeat will go off, or it's gonna be if just the enemies are nearby. I don't exactly know how that's gonna operate, but
I'm guessing it's just enhanced audio. You get to
yeah,
like hear stuff better.
yeah, true.
And then yeah, his passive is very unique. Like no other legend has an audio type ability, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I also kind of see that possibly causing some audio issues, probably at the beginning of season 10, since it's an audio based ability. But it is very
Yeah.
unique. Seer is a really unique legend. And that might be something that makes him a good legend, but we have yet to see what his abilities are like and how exactly good they'll place into the meta and if people are going to really enjoy playing him and such. Apparently, some of the pro players have said that he's going to be a good legend, or from like insiders, I don't know, say he's going to be a good legend, but of course, we can't 100% determine that. His tactical is he would send out a few little micro drone moths to go and search out the enemies. That's basically what his tactical is. And
Hopefully it's not too much like Bloodhounds.
yeah, I don't think it'll be exactly like Bloodhounds in terms of
Yeah, it'll look
yeah,
different, but hopefully it's not, the same use. You just scan,
yeah.
you just scan enemies.
I think
It
it's
just
gonna
seems copy and paste.
I think it's gonna be that the drones go after enemies if they're like close by. Like if they sense there's enemies, they're going to go right towards the enemies and do something. I don't know, but I think like I don't know if they're like gonna have some sort of damage dealing effect or if they're gonna do something to like distract the enemies. Because from what I saw in like the launch trailer, like you saw like the little drones like hovering going around the enemies and they were distracted by the little
Yeah.
micro drones. But I don't think that's like exactly going to play out in game. I think maybe it'll do some sort of blinding effect, but I don't know. Again, we're gonna have to see what how exactly the tactical operates. But I see it being ability to like the enemy is close by, the little drones will chase after the enemy, and then the ultimate. The ultimate is really interesting. So what it is, it's basically a dome, a giant sphere dome that goes around a certain area, and enemies that are in the area will be scanned. Well, if they're running, they'll be detected and revealed. That's how that ability works. And it's a really interesting ability. I don't know how good it's going to be. Like it depends on how large the sphere is going to be in game, I guess. But I feel like it should have a little more of some sort of effect other than just revealing enemies when they're running. Because it's yeah. So what are your thoughts about the ultimate ability, Keeper?
It's good when you're taking fights because you could use that you can use that in a building when you're trying to breach a building with an enemy team like with a caustic. So that's super easy to use when you're like fighting against them.
Yeah, definitely.
And then for like other, I guess it's very situational if somebody's holding down a building, stuff like that, or uh, like in a very compact area, like fragment.
Yeah. I feel like if you're playing on an aggressive team with Seer, it might make it a little bit scary for the enemies to just stay like in that zone where the sphere like is like covering the area. So they would probably be tempted to run if that squad is aggressive, which would definitely reveal that they're there. And yeah, it's a little weird to get a hold of, but it sounds like a really interesting ability. Just Sirius has a really unique kit. I'm really curious to see how that works out in game. I hope he's pretty good. The people are saying that Bloodhound will kind of always be like the better choice than Seer, but I guess we'll never know until he like actually comes into the game.
Yeah, hopefully Bloodhound is still viable. Hopefully they're not too much of the same character,
Yeah,
so that both are still unique and stuff like that.
I heard Bloodhound was actually going to be getting some sort of nerf like in season 10.
Oh yeah, and then what about Rampart? Her isn't she getting a buff too?
Yeah, Rampart's going to be getting a buff. And they did mention that she's going to be getting a spicy buff like in the middle of
Yeah,
season
spicy
10.
buff
Yeah, we
with
don't.
along with their heirloom. That's what they're gonna do with Revenant, or that's what they did with Revenant. They buffed him and they dropped his heirloom.
Yeah, it very well seems like they're going to be doing that for Rampart in season 10, dropping her heirloom and doing some sort of buff. Now I don't know what that
Yeah,
buff is going to be, so pretty much all we can do is just speculate what that would be. But
I'm guessing it's towards her ultimate
yeah, probably
because
towards her
her ultimate
ultimate.
is garbage, hot trash.
Yeah, it's very situational, and
Yeah,
yeah, you really just you got to be able to know where exactly enemy is. It requires a lot of positioning skill to place it down and use it correctly. And yeah, so basically, what I'm thinking the buff might be is possibly maybe her. Well, I'm not gonna. Her turret obviously won't do more damage. It is already insanely powerful if you land your shots on every single person that's like
yeah.
out there. So what I'm guessing is that I don't.
I'm guessing
I
they're
don't
gonna
know.
increase the mobility of it,
Yeah, probably.
so it's
Maybe
not
give it a
limited.
little more of a rotation angle is what I'd probably
Yeah,
guess. They did do that to make it like a 180-degree turn. So yeah, I'm guessing that might be the next buff, probably for her ultimate. That's the only thing I can see buffing for her ultimate is just making it so like you can have a more of a
yeah. If you can
rotation.
move like at least 360 degrees if it's placed down.
Yeah, that would be insane, 360 degrees.
Yeah,
Another thing I could probably see buffing about her kit is something with her tactical. That's like her tactical. I would say is like one of the main parts of her kit because because she's a defensive legend, and the tactical with pretty much all the defensive legends is really important. And since she's a lockdown based character, like the tactical is definitely like something that you'd want to buff and make sure it's under well supervision. But I don't exactly know how they would go about buffing the tactical. I would probably think maybe increasing the health of the tactical, especially like when it's being built up, because that can
yeah,
get really annoying to Rampart players. Like
yeah.
just placing
It's
down a
so
cover.
annoying every time. When I play Rampart, it's just so useless when you're starting to take a fight or when somebody's pushing you. Your walls just get instantly destroyed. You know?
Yeah, yeah. So I would just probably assume they would buff that part of the tactical, and I think I don't. I would probably think possibly the size of the tactical as well, but I think the size of the tactical is perfect enough. Like, it's just the health that I feel like would need a little more of a buff. So I think the buff. I don't know. I don't know if the Rampart buff in mid-season 10 will exactly be spicy, but it will probably help Rampart become more viable of a legend. And I just thought of this really stupid idea to buff Rampart. Like, what if you were like able to hold an
Yeah.
amped cover?
Like a oh, wouldn't that be cool if it was like a gun shield?
Yeah, that would be crazy. And I can see that being a spicy buff, but I doubt they would end up doing that, making it so you could hold the tactical up like in front of your gun. Because like, well, Gibraltar's gun shield, it doesn't like amp up bullet shots, so I guess that would make it more unique from Gibby's gun shield, but I don't really see that happening in the future.
Yeah.
There's also the possibility of making Sheila's turret, the Sheila turret, mobile, like as in it can move, like not in terms of rotation, like it can move around. But I don't.
Something that's annoying for me when I'm playing Rampart is when a team is pushing me and I know they're going to be right around the corner. I can place our ultimate, but when I place it down, I'm not able to get onto it because if it's facing a certain direction, you don't have access to it at all because
Yeah.
you're in a bad position, which is super dumb, and it's super annoying because you just get beamed.
Yeah, it's definitely Rampart definitely is a legend that's heavily based on positioning, and
Yeah.
they really got to figure out how to kind of like make it so she, I guess, can be more of a better spot, especially with how like mobility characters are like the focus of the game, and you got to be mobile in the game. So there's got to be some way where they can make Rampart more of an up on your feet type of legend. Well, I don't exactly know if like there's gonna be any if mobility put into the kit because she's a defensive legend, like a lockdown an area legend, position yourself
Yeah.
well
It would
and
be
such.
cooler if she was more like Gibby because you don't get any value out of any of her abilities but her passive when you're pushing a team. Only with
Yeah,
Gibby, and that's it.
yeah, true. But I am also really curious to see what the heirloom ends up looking like once it comes into the game, because we know it's gonna be a wrench.
Like a wrench, yeah.
Yeah, and
Hopefully it'll be a lot more detailed than just a wrench.
yeah, it will definitely be a lot more detailed because
Yeah.
as of now in the game files, it just looks like some Lego blocks.
Yeah, it does.
Like I see a lot of potential in it, so I hope they execute the heirloom well. They definitely executed Revenant's heirloom amazingly. Like
Yeah,
Revenant
it looks
definitely has
awesome.
like Revenant's heirloom is definitely high up there. Like I don't know if it would exactly be number one, but it is. It's just it's the stuff. Good money investment. Well, not necessarily because yeah. Let's not get into some. Let's not get into economics right now.
Okay.
But anyways, and kind of on the topic of buffs and nerfs, we have a Watson change that will be coming in the future. Now I don't know if this will be season 10 or not. I think it might be season 10 that we get this change to Watson. And
Yeah,
it's going
weren't
to
they
be
talking about reworking her?
yeah. So there's going to be a Watson rework, and from what I think, they're going to include some sort of buff, but they're going to have to nerf her as well. And I'm thinking that most likely will be a hitbox nerf.
Yeah, that's the nerve. I'm guessing it's to balance it out
Yeah,
because because she has nothing going for her so far. Like the fences are almost useless.
yeah,
It's just kind of stupid to play her now. People only play her for content. They're like, look, I can use this legend and make her viable, even though she has no value at all.
yeah.
She's just used for content.
She's a lot more valuable in comp, and I think a lot of
She
people know
was.
that she. Yeah, I don't really see. Well, I haven't watched competitive in a while, but I don't really
Yeah.
recall seeing too many Watsons.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a long time ago.
yeah, true. Like she definitely needs to have something to make her more of a legend that will want to be used in competitive, but not just competitive like pubs, because she she was pretty much always known for like not being like the best legend in pubs. Like
Yeah,
they're
she's just a born legend.
yeah, because in pubs like it's you can just frag out and do whatever you want. But in comp or competitive, like you have to be able to position yourself well, and like kind of like I said earlier, like defensive legends like are definitely focused around some sort of positioning. So that's why she was like a really good in comp because it really helped you lock down area, position the team well, and yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't exactly know what the buff would be. I would probably assume maybe the fence distance would be a little bit bigger than what it is now, and
I
plus,
saw I saw Albert Lilly post a lot of reworks on his Twitter. I'll see if I can find those.
all
He
right,
posted a lot of like buff ideas and reworks for Watson, and he said some of these are just ideas. Some of them simple, some of them are complicated, and I really liked looking at them.
all right, you should probably pull that up because that will
Yeah.
seem really interesting. Anyways, like possibly another way to go about buffing Watson could be to make it so she can place down more fences, but like the ultimate, I feel like also needs some sort of change because the ultimate's been nerfed before. Like you may be able to place down 3 ults now, but before it used to last like for an eternity. Now it only lasts for like 90 seconds if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there. It actually might be yeah. Yeah, I don't
All right,
remember.
I got them.
All
He
right, let's hear
said
this.
first basic buff idea: HP increased defenses so they survive a crypto EMP. It's super simple.
Oh
He said.
yeah,
Second
that would
basic
work
buff
well.
idea is a damage increase to fences while leaving HP alone. The current damage is 15, I believe, but it ticks pretty rapidly if you sit in it for a while.
Yeah,
Could probably be bumped up to 20 to 25 without problems.
yeah, a
Um,
DPS buff. That would
yeah.
work well for the fences.
The third basic buff idea: reduce the cooldown of fences. Oh yeah, that's a good one because they take so long.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then he has reworks idea, and he said, "Oh yeah, do you remember in that? Oh, what's it called? I think it was for season 9, the trailer
Yeah.
where Watson and what's her name?
Oh, I remember
Watson and
that.
Horizon with her
Where the fence
like
like
the
just
fences.
kept octane like in
Yeah,
the
where like he
artillery.
said, yeah, yeah, and he had an idea. It was like sticky fences where it's like a fly trap. He said, where nobody can pass through metal.
That would kind of seem a little powerful. Like,
Yeah, I think that'd be cool though.
yeah, it definitely would be cool, but I'd maybe like make it so like you're a lot more slowed when passing through the fences, because that's probably the closest you could get to like sticky fences or whatever, like how it's described.
Ooh, there's another rework idea that I really like.
Oh,
Okay,
let's hear it.
the second one is make her gen mobile by activating the one that's on her back to remove her ability to place gens altogether. Effects stay the
Oh,
same. Last 55 seconds to 60 seconds.
that would be
I
pretty
like that one.
cool.
Yeah,
Honestly, that
she's
would
like
be insane.
a mobile pylon.
Yeah, and that would definitely like make her fit a little more into like the offensive, aggressive
Yeah, that would.
meta. Yeah, I can really see that working really well for Watson. Definitely a great way to buff like a defensive legend like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm a
love
big
that.
fan of
I would
that
love to
one.
see that. The third rework idea was the gen behaves the same exact way to friendlies and same regen value. However, the enemies step into the radius and the hostile gen it drains their shields. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
He's
I like
yeah.
that idea too.
It pretty much takes enemy shields. That's cool.
Yeah, a double, two windowed ultimate ability. I really like that idea. So it'd be kind of like Overwatch in that aspect because Overwatch has a lot of two-sided abilities in the game.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all the ideas that he gave out. I really like all of them. All of them are good.
Yeah, a lot of those are some really good abilities, especially the one with having the ultimate on your back. I really liked that one, and the last one with like the two-sided ultimate. That works well too. But also, I feel like that the current shield regen passive she has, where her shields passively regenerate over time, I feel like they could buff that a little bit to make it so it heals up a little more
So it's
quicker.
like octanes. I feel like it should be like octanes.
Yeah, I feel like it should be like Octanes too, where it can heal up. Like it doesn't have to exactly be as fast as Octanes, but it just needs to be quicker to the point where it's
Yeah.
more effective. Like not as oh you changed your profile picture.
Yeah. Colors told me that they fixed the bug where it's not as low quality anymore.
Oh, nice. Anyways, are there any other legends that will most likely be getting buffs or nerfs? Oh, we also know that there's
Crypto.
some. Oh yeah, crypto.
Yeah, they're gonna rework them. Or I heard they were gonna rework him. I don't know if that's true though.
Yeah, I think the devs have really wanted to rework Crypto for a while, but I think it's really tricky to kind of rework him. But I do I've had this idea for a while to just make the drone like autopilot, so like maybe if you start like getting a little bit out of range, like the drone will move towards you, or maybe like an instant recall if like the drone is like way out of distance.
The idea that I saw, I think it was like in a news video. I don't remember from which channel, but the idea was that it can be controlled kind of like Mirage's decoys. Like he sends it out and it
Oh
goes
yeah.
automatically.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good idea. That's a good idea. Really good. I would definitely really want Crypto to
Yeah,
have
that,
that
I
with
think that
there.
would be kind of OP because you can just send it and then trigger an EMP, and then you just run with your team. Like you don't
Mhm.
have to worry about controlling the drone, which is really cool. I like that one.
Yeah, it definitely also puts Crypto more into like the offensive. Like he already is. He can already be used
Yeah,
pretty offensively and aggressive, like with the EMP and such. But that would just really make him a lot more fluid, like to
that would make
play
him a
as.
lot. Yeah, that'll make his plays go a lot more smoother. You know.
Yeah, indeed. And also, what else? What other reworks are buffs or nerfs? Well, we do know that there's gonna be something coming for Horizon in the future. So, like recently, at the beginning of season 9, Horizon was nerfed, and it took a really heavy hit on her pick rate. It went down. I think she's the 12th most played legend now because of that nerf to her tactical alone. So I feel like the tactical buff, the not the buff, the nerf was needed. Unfortunately, I don't exactly know if they went too overkill, but I think it might have been a little bit overkill.
Yeah, I feel like you should be able to stay on there longer,
Yeah,
and
that's
I
what I was
also
thinking
think
of.
that it should be able to send you higher or not. I don't know.
No, I think
I
the
guess it's
height.
just personal
I
preference.
think the height is a fine on the her tactical currently. I do think like you should be able to stay up there for a little bit longer now. Like I think
Yeah,
pretty much the only thing they had to do was just reduce the strafing thing. Like they should make it so you can stay up there for longer, not just like I think it's 2 seconds now. I've been practicing in the firing range a lot with Horizon lately, so like I can notice that like it you're not up there on the tactical long enough, and I feel like that really needs to be extended a little more. And another little idea I had for a Horizon buff was to make it so her not her tactical, but her ultimate would be a little bit more stronger when it's pulling enemies in. I do think the ultimate is in a good spot. That was just a little bit of an idea I had because that's the only part I can see like being a little bit weak about her kit.
I think it's pretty good. If they were to increase like the strength of her ultimate, it would be, I don't know. It's just I guess like I don't know. It just depends on how she's played
It would
because
definitely
you can
make
put it
up
on the other
for
side of the wall and then it'll just push them against the wall.
it would definitely make up for like the nerf she got though with like her tactical.
Yeah, it would.
And another idea I thought of, but this is most likely not going to be a thing. Like maybe like the ultimate can like suck in gunshots. So
Oh yeah,
I think
like bullets.
yeah, or any like sort of projectiles. But I feel like that would definitely like be a little bit too powerful. Like just being able to do that because there's got to be like a downside to every ability,
I feel
and
like that would be annoying.
yeah, it would definitely be annoying. So that will most likely will never come into the game. And her passive is just there. It's a good passive, like being
Yeah,
able
it
to
is a
like
good passive.
not get stunned by falling. Like it's a balanced passive. Like it's just there. It's good. And yeah, what other things we're cooking in the oven for Legends in need of changes? We do know that Caustic might be getting a buff to his gas again to make it a little more scary, because Caustic also took a big hit from like the way he was nerfed with his gas. Like it doesn't do as much damage as it did before, and it definitely I think would need to be a little bit more scarier. Like I think Caustic can still be really good in some situations, but I just feel like I agree with him needing some sort of change to the gas to make him a little bit more of a scarier legend again, but of course not overpowered.
Oh yeah, what about Lifeline? Do you think that she deserves a buff?
Hmm. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of think Lifeline needs. I kind of think that the res shield should come back. Like, I'm not saying this because I want Lifeline to be annoying. I'm saying this because like this was like her res shield was in there ever since like the beginning of the game, and it feels kind of
Yeah.
weird to me for it to be just taken out like that. So I think it should come back, but it should have some sort of health on it.
Oh yeah, like Rampart's wall.
Yeah, I think they should have done that instead of just outright gotten rid of it. Like, don't get me wrong, Lifeline's still a great legend now. Like, her passive is still really good, and the fact
Yeah,
that she can res.
she's not bad or anything.
Yeah, the
It's
fact
just
she
that
can
she's not
res.
as strong as other legends.
Yeah, and the fact she can res two people at once with the same, like, auto res, like, it still is, like, a really. She still is really good. And, like, and I do like the feature they made so you can, like, cancel the revives, like, just in case if, like, the enemies, like, attack the teammates so they can put up their knockdown shields. So that
Oh
was really
yeah.
good. But yeah, I just feel like they should bring back the red shield and give it some sort of health because again, it like feels weird, and I feel like because they did recently buff life, not buff. Oh my god! As usual, my words are not on point. She did get a nerf to her hitbox, making it so like, yeah, she does have a little bit of a bigger hitbox now. So I feel like there would have to be some sort of buff to make up for that. I feel like bringing back the res shield would be a little bit too big, but like I said, like bring it back with some health and not just outright get rid of it. That's the way I would see it happening. Her ultimate, I think, is just gotten a lot better, but I don't know exactly like if it needs any changes. What do you think about her ultimate currently?
Uh, I don't really know.
Yeah, same. I don't really know. Like, it's there, I guess.
I just, I mean, it would be. I don't know. It just seems it already got a buff. It seems fine now.
Yeah,
I feel like her drone like should be changed.
yeah. There's. I don't exactly know how they should go about changing her drone, but yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know too much of how to like rework Lifeline because she, like, I wouldn't say she's tricky to rework. I would say that maybe like
Maybe they should decrease the cooldown by like 5 seconds, maybe.
for the drone.
Yeah, for the drone.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that because like especially if you're getting into a lot of fights, like definitely you would want to have that more
Yeah,
available.
I feel
What
like it should be
else?
used for a fight, and then if a third party comes, you should have it already. Like have it set.
Yeah, there's also kind of an idea for. I also have kind of an idea for a tactical. I don't. This will probably never come in the game though. Like for her drone to have an area of effect heal instead of like you go up to it, get hooked up with like an IV thing, and get healed. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I just feel like that would.
that would be cool.
It,
It'll release like pulses of healing.
Yeah, that definitely would be cool. Unfortunately, I think Lifeline's a little bit too specific of a legend as of now for that to like be made though. And there already is like a legend that was leaked a while back that has an area of effect healing ability. Of course, it's not constant area of effect healing, but it's an area of effect healing ability.
I would like that. What I feel like I've heard that before, like a long
Yeah,
time ago.
yeah, it was immortal. We went over that legend in the last episode when speculating about Seer's abilities.
I feel like if it was a pulse, oh, that reminds me of like an what's it called?
Um,
Like a character from Overwatch or Paladins or
Kind of like
some other.
Soldier 76. Kind of because he has like a utility that's very effect healing.
I would like something like that.
Yeah. But that would kind of that's a little more lifeline-ish, just placing down in a device and letting it heal you in like a inherent effect. But like the thing with like what Immortal's ultimate would be is that it's like an instant heal, not like something that pulsates and then you gradually heal up. Like it's just more of an instant heal. It's basically what we saw in the Dummies Big Day limited time mode with that ultimate ability.
Yeah.
All right, are there any more? Is there any more stuff that possibly will get buffed and nerfed further in the future?
I don't think so.
Any weapons by any chance?
Hmm. I don't know.
We do know that the Spitfire will be going into the care package, as it
Yeah,
seems, in
and the
Season
Prowler will
10.
come back.
Yeah, and we'll have the Rampage LMG. I'm actually really excited for that. Apparently, what the Thermite is supposed to do is speed up its fire rate for a little bit, and then goes
That
back
seems
to the
cool.
original fire. I feel like Fuse would definitely benefit from that, from that weapon, like giving him some sort of way to use his abilities a little more.
Yeah, his passive, because he
Yeah,
can stock up on extra grenades.
yeah, that would definitely work well for Fuse. Oh, and I forgot to speak about Fuse for the buffs and nerfs. How do you think like they'll go about buffing or nerfing? Well, obviously Fuse doesn't need a nerf. He's already in a weak
Yeah, he
spot.
does not need a nerf.
Yeah,
He does not need it.
true. The
Um, if they were to buff him, I feel like they should buff maybe uh his tactical or his ultimate altogether.
yeah, Daniel Z. Klein already talked about like buffing the duration of the tactical to make it explode for a little
Yeah,
longer. Then there, but I also feel like there's a downside to that because the DPS would be a lot slower with his tactical, so they would probably have to tick up the damage a little bit along with that extra duration.
another buff idea is like if his grenades exploded on impact, that would be OP.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty insane as well. And but the one part of this kit that I feel like needs probably the most attention is his ultimate because that's also really situational, and is can be really weird sometimes.
Yeah.
And there were two, and I actually think I went over this in the first episode of the podcast. I don't remember, but like the two ideas I had for buffing Fuse's ultimate would be either one, increase the radius, the flame height of the ultimate, and then the other idea I had was you're able to shoot two mother loads like at once,
I feel
which
like it should be less of a mortar, like where he shoots it up. I feel like it should be shot straight, so you don't clip anything above you.
yeah
It's easier to aim.
yeah like kind of bring down the arc a little bit, like that would
Yeah,
definitely work well. Like I don't know if that would exactly make it a lot more accurate, but yeah, that I think they bringing the arc down a little bit for like the distance and such would definitely work well for that
yeah.
ability.
It's not like they need to change like the damage output or anything. The damage is fine. It does a lot
Yeah,
of
the damage is
damage,
good.
and
Damage is
yeah, and
good.
it slows you down, so it's really good. It's just I feel like they should rework how it's used or like how it's triggered.
Yeah. So definitely we well, I don't know if we should exactly expect a fuse buff in season 10. Like I know we did get a buff from at the beginning of season 9. We didn't get one in the mid-season patch with the Genesis collection event, so I'm guessing we might be seeing a fuse buff at the beginning of season 10. But we'll just have to wait and see. Now, let's go back to talking about weapon nerfs and buffs. To be honest, I don't really feel like any weapons are going to be needing any changes. Like, of course, we got the Spitfire going to the care package. The care package weapons are the care package weapons.
Oh, I feel
So,
like
like,
the
those are
Spitfire
gone.
would. I feel like the Spitfire would be scared if it was in a care package because that means they're gonna have to buff it in some way so that
Yeah.
it's like, super worthy of the care package,
I'm
like the Devo.
I'm guessing they would revert back to what it was like before it was nerfed. Like, I feel like it's gonna go back to like the original ammo types it had like before the nerf they made at the beginning of the season. So like the maximum capacity mag is like 55 bullets, and then it'll probably do like 19 damage if I can recall. So I think that's all they would do, like just revert it back to that and putting it in the care package. And of course, the Prowler would for sure be coming back
Yeah,
and
and
buffed.
then like you since there's no hop up, it would be a lot you know be a lot more viable. You don't have to look for any hop up because it's not
Yeah,
like you would get that back in the game.
I guess we
I'm pretty
won't
sure
be
it'll be like
seeing.
the Peacekeeper.
Yeah, like the Peacekeeper and Triple Take. I don't think
Yeah.
we'll be seeing the select fire pop up come back like ever. I did really want like the Havoc to have the built-in select fire feature like the Prowler, but I don't think they're gonna be doing that.
Yeah, same.
But
I
that
feel
would
like, oh, the other thing. Ooh, I wonder why they removed that. Why did they
probably
remove the select fire? Or like that little ability for the Havoc.
yeah. I don't know why they removed the select fire for the Havoc, but I'm really interested to see what that would look like if like turbocharger and that was like combined.
Oh yeah, same. Do you think that the quick draw hop up is useless?
To be honest, yeah, I think the quick draw hop up is a little bit useless. Like, I think they should make that like make the quick draw hop up like for a certain future legend, and like not just a hop up in game.
Like a
But
passive?
yeah, like a passive ability. But that's just me.
I feel like Rampart's passive shouldn't be limited to just LMGs.
Same. I feel it. That's pretty much always how I felt like about Rampart's passive. Like it should be. Well, I don't know
Yeah, she's
necessarily if it
not.
should be for every single weapon, but definitely has to be expanded a little more to like different weapons. Because she's a
Yeah,
weapon modder who makes like all different sorts of weapons. Like, why is it only limited to LMGs?
yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make complete sense.
Yeah, I just feel like, because there's only like a couple LMGs, and then one of them is broken. Nobody likes LMGs. L-Star is okay, but nobody really uses the L-Star that much.
L Star is underrated.
Yeah, it
Devotion,
is.
the devotion is highly strong, but I feel like it hasn't really been used as much as I
Yeah,
think it would have been used.
I haven't seen anybody use it in any of the games that I've been in.
I feel like the reason why the devotion isn't really used much anymore is because of the recoil. Like it's not insanely strong, like, but I think that might be kind of a reason why it's it might not be picked up as much.
Probably.
And the gaming merchant did say it's like a really underrated weapon, probably one of the most underrated in season 9. So I feel like that's a little bit of an overstatement because I think we all know what power the devotion holds. But I think it's underrated in the sense that why is like barely anyone picking it up anymore? I think that's what
Yeah,
makes it
probably just
underrated.
forgotten about. Like it's had its time. It's still strong. Like if you think about it, remember when the Havoc was super OP and they nerfed it?
Yes, the Havoc,
Like
in my opinion,
it's still pretty good.
the Havoc, in my opinion, is the most underrated weapon in the game currently. I will be making a video about that, like the Havoc being underrated.
I
Like
feel like the Devo is going through the same thing. Like the Havoc was just slowly became more like forgotten about, even though it was still really good.
the Havoc is crazy. Like it baffles
Yeah.
me how like barely anyone uses it. I use it a lot in arenas, and it's really good. Like the recoil, it's a little bit kicky, but if you like get a hang of it, then it's going to be a frying machine. Like I tested it out in the firing range. If you manage to land most of your shots, then like with the base mag, you would probably be able to like only waste half of your clip. And like if you have a full magazine, like you'd probably be able to only waste a third of that clip. It's just crazy. Like I am like the Havoc was just like the no annoying gun before, but now it's just a chat in the making.
Yeah.
like it like the pros have got to start using that so the Havoc can become like up there because it is for sure underrated. Well, I'm not just gonna be making an underrated weapon video centered around the Havoc. I'm gonna be doing a video in the future like looking at all the weapons and determining like if they're overrated or underrated.
You should do
Or
a
if
tier list.
oh yeah, that I would. Yeah, I was definitely thinking of doing like a tier list for something, like in the future, for like legends and weapons and such.
Yeah, I know that's something that I would watch. I like seeing other people's opinions on other stuff. Like games and guns, weapons, certain like character abilities and how they're used together. I love seeing
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, it is really interesting to see people's opinions, like about the certain legends and certain weapons and such.
Yeah, because it can help a lot because you can learn a lot of like how to use something, and then what it's good with.
Yeah, true. And kind of, and like, okay, so I think there a lot of time has passed currently. We're going to be ending the episode soon, but I kind of want to get something a little bit out of the way before exactly we end. And like, speaking of like future videos and such, I don't, I people know about this already in Discord, but I'm going to be kind of changing up things on my channel a little bit, as probably anyone who watches my channel that's watching this podcast may have seen. I have posted a little bit of a preview of my last gameplay video of season 9, and that video, whenever it comes out, it's going to be sometime later this week. It will be my last gameplay video for a long time, and the reason why I'm doing it, I'm not going to be posting so much gameplay stuff, is primarily because like I've recognized that those usually get like the lowest amount of views on my channel, and I just feel like it's a little bit cliche to just be posting all this gameplay stuff that's like not gonna get a whole lot of views. Like, don't get me wrong, like there's a whole lot of creators out there that do insanely well, like making gameplay videos and like being super popular from it. But I feel like I'm gotta try to find like my own little unique thing to do on the channel rather than just post gameplay and post Twitch clips. And let's face it, like Twitch clips I feel like are just not exactly the best way to make content on like YouTube, but but yeah. So basically what's going to be happening for like the future of the channel is I'm actually going to be focusing my channel on something that I personally have not seen a lot on YouTube. Like, there has been videos done on it before, but I just feel like it's kind of been overshadowed by like a lot of other stuff, such as gameplay and news. And I'll basically be going over legend concepts and weapon concepts that I have. But it's not just going to be that, it's concepts for like pretty much anything I can think of, like for maps, like reimagining a Legends kit, and yeah, there's gonna be a lot around that category, and I will kind of start doing that stuff with like the underrated and overrated weapons video I'm gonna be making soon, and yeah, I just feel like I gotta be a little more unique. Of course, I felt like I was already being unique, posting like both gameplay and news, and like other stuff, and occasional Geometry Dash content, and now I'm starting to post Splitgate content, which that game is really fun. Definitely gonna be posting gameplay from that. But yeah, I just feel
Yeah,
like
it is a pretty fun game. Stupid
yeah,
servers won't allow me to play.
yeah, the servers are constricted because of the overflow of all the players. I don't think they expected that big of like a flood of the player base. But yeah, getting right back on track about the changing content, like I'm going into the stuff that's like I'm gonna be continuing. Of course, I'm gonna continue doing the new stuff. That stuff usually gets me a decent amount of views. Like, of course, like not insane amounts. Like, there are some videos I made that kind of blew up, and definitely reactions are staying on the channel. Like, and maybe small tips and guides, like when Seer and like the Rampage LMG come out, I'm gonna make videos like explain my thoughts on them and maybe give some tips and a little bit of an overview of them. So I'm gonna be doing that, of course, and there's other like little small videos to kind of fill in content gaps and such. And I'm also planning on like upping my video quality, although it's gonna be a little bit difficult because like I'm really trying to find a good editing app so I can like make better videos, and that's probably the only chance you'd ever get to see like gameplay is just in the background of me doing commentary and such. So really planning on upping my videos in the upcoming days and such. Yeah, still gonna be posting Apex content again. Nothing's changed in terms of Apex content. I literally started getting into Apex content like the beginning of beginning of this year. I think it was like right at the beginning of season 8, so like in March, February, I don't exactly remember when I started posting that. So it's not going to be going away. Like, I'm not completely changing my content again from one game to another. Of course, Splitgate's going to be tagging along. If I get any chances to make content out of like Geometry Dash, I will be posting some Geometry Dash stuff, but that's going to be rare as usual. And yeah, that's just, I'm probably going to make another video centered around like what I'm going to be doing going into season 10 of Apex. But I just wanted to say that right now on the podcast, like for anyone who's watching, whatever. So yeah, with that out of the way, that's going to be all for episode 4 of the Triple A-Pex Podcast. To my YouTube... Oh, wait. Forgot about the Q&As. So we have one person in the audience right now. That is Rachel. So...
Gay dude.
Do you have any questions for us currently? Okay, we got some Q&A. Oh. What's all this in the question and answer? Anyways.
What? Where did this come from?
I have no clue. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in, like, live chat as well. What is this? Okay, so Rachel, or a gay dude, has no questions currently, so we're not going to be doing a Q&A. Pretty sad. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention this as well. The schedule might be changing for the podcast to try to draw on more of an audience, because for the past few episodes, we haven't really had an audience, so I think I might be changing that up a little bit so we can kind of be more fluid with others' like schedules and if they want to watch and tune in on the podcast or not. But anyways, back to where I was going to go. That's going to be all for episode 4 of the Triple A-Pex Podcast. Ooh, this was actually a pretty long episode. So to my YouTube audience, if you did enjoy, be sure to give the video a like. And if you're brand new here, be sure to subscribe, turn on that bell icon so you can get notified for whenever I upload a video. Also, I have a Discord server. Link will be in the description. And that is also where I'm doing the podcast episodes live from. So if you want to listen to the episodes live, then be sure to join the Discord and listen in on, well, I don't know if it's going to be Sundays anymore. It's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because it will change, but yeah. And also, I have a Guilded server, so if you're looking for any servers to join on there, then I have a Guilded server too. So yeah, I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. Also, be sure to follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/3LNEX. And yeah, once again, that's all for this episode of the Triple A-Pex Podcast, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.